try that again. Darci's Corner, 2020. So, October 9th, 2020. I'm just killing time like most of the rest of us. It's a pandemic, and we're having fun. And I have a lot of time to think about my condition and what it means. And so I'm just going to ramble, and if it looks like something worth sharing after I'm done, I'll share it. If not, well, that's what a race is for, so we're okay. Anyway, I'm non-binary, and I think a lot about the dysphoria and what that means and why it never affected me before, but it's affecting me now, or it's kind of affecting me now. And I mean, this dysphoria for me is no different, I don't think, than many others who are going through this condition, because it makes you doubt everything, right? You doubt every decision you've ever made in your life, and you go, well, if I was wrong about this, what else was I wrong about? you know? And when you hear a lot of people talk about their condition and how when they were children, they were really sad and they had to do things, or it was just going to be horrible for them. I didn't have that, mostly. At least I don't think that I did. I don't know. But I did have thoughts of, I want to do this thing over here. Wear a dress, put on nail polish, try on some makeup and look like whatever the picture was that I'd see on TV or whatever. But I never did those things because there were certain expectations and certain rules laid out, and boys could do these things and girls could do those things, and you weren't really you could deviate with some stuff, like we could all do crafts. Okay, there was lots of crossover, but there were certain things that were kind of exclusive to one or the other, or they seemed to be anyway. Anyway, so I didn't do those. If it was exclusively a female thing, which at the time was like nail painting or something, then I couldn't do that, and I couldn't wear dresses. But you see, I never told anybody, again, like I said before, that I was her sometimes. And so nobody knew that I wanted to wear dresses. And I didn't tell people. And I kept thinking, man, I wish it was okay for boys to wear dresses. That'd be cool. Just to be different and just to do that. I would like to do that. But it was never okay, so I never did it. And not even as a joke, because then somebody might know. Right? I didn't do makeup or nail polish or anything. And I didn't... Going goth would have been an option for me, I suppose. People did that sort of thing then. But not too many. They were kind of the freaks at the time. And I was already enough of a freak that I didn't really need to add to my status of I'm weird and nobody likes me. I was already kind of there on that level, so I didn't need to add to that. Nothing against goth people, by the way. Not that anybody watches this channel, but if you're goth and you're watching, that's what love, brother. Just you do you. Anyway, so I couldn't never express any of this stuff, but I had the thoughts. I put it away at age 10, or I thought I did. But then I would still think all the time about, well, what would it be like to be her? Or I remember in the 5th grade, there was just, I wanted to do the things that I wanted to do for fun, that the other kids were doing, were the things that the girls were doing, right? So they were playing on the merry-go-round, you grab it, and it's the chains and a little loop or a chunk of rubber on the end, and they all grab it, and there's like 10 of them or 15 of them, and they run around in a circle, and they kind of fly up. I wanted to do that, and I couldn't ever get the boys to want to do that with me, and whenever I ran to the thing, it was always covered in girls, and they didn't want to share. So, but I wanted to play that game. And the other game I ended up playing a lot of, that I learned from watching other girls play it, was those patty cake games. You know, the Mrs. Mac dressed in black, and they're doing this Mac and hands and the legs and whatever. And it's a rhyme. And there's a whole. She ends up going to hell at some point. Anyway, it's a cute little nursery rhyme. But it was something that primarily only the girls did. I don't ever remember seeing a little boy doing it. But I watched the little girls doing it. They were in a grade below me. I was waiting in the library to go in line to the library, and they were doing that in front of me, and I liked it, and I wanted to do it too. But of course, I didn't have a partner because that was a little girl game, and I was a little boy, and I was too old to be their friend anyway. There was rules. You weren't allowed to be friends with the kids in younger grades or something. It was a strange school. They had some weird rules. But anyway, I remember wanting to do those things as a child. And then as a teenager, before I left home, I remember I used to have this fantasy once in a while that I lived in BC, and I was going to move to Alberta and move to West Edmonton Mall and dress up like a chick and walk around, and nobody would know. That was a fantasy I had as a teenager living in Prince George, and it never occurred to me that meant that I was transgender. Doesn't everybody have those kind of fantasies? And apparently they don't. If you have those kind of fantasies on even a semi-regular basis, guess what? You too might be transgender. But nobody told me that, and so I didn't know that I was. I would just think about it once in a while, and it seemed like a good idea, and then life would happen, and I would kind of forget about that thought and go do life. But that particular thought, or a thought like that one, would keep coming back over and over the years. I just don't remember really feeling this overwhelming urge to act on it, and it never occurred to me that I would regret not acting on it. Also, I had a great deal of other life stress going on at the time, and when I get stressed out, and when life gets hard, my male side, he's been hardened now by a lot of things. He can take a lot of stuff. He'll stand up and deal with the situation, whatever it is. That's what he's there for. Okay? The reason I say I'm non-binary, I reserve the right to bring him back any point in time. He's not always right, but he tries his best, and he cares. So that's about all I can say about him. But the other thing, of course, the big thing about him is he is my protector. So non-binary, for me, means the right to bring back the parts of him that I like anytime I want them. Right? That includes confidence. That includes standing up for yourself. That includes setting boundaries and saying, we will do this and this, but I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry, that's not something that I'm capable of or comfortable with, or whatever the situation may be. Anyway, he's very sure of himself. Confidence is not something I had a lot of in life most of the time. I was always very insecure about everything. So, the fact that I'm not, at least he's not insecure anymore, is a big accomplishment for me. Darci, on the other hand, is very insecure about being Darci. I'm well aware that my voice is still not there. And now that I said that, I'm going to try and keep it higher because I'm thinking about it. But anyway, the point is, I'm aware. It's different tone now, right? I'm aware of the fact that I'm not there yet, and I may never get there, and I don't know what else I can possibly do to make this go smoother. I don't think there is anything else. I think I just have to be patient and let time do its work. I'm on most of the right medications. Maybe I'm getting on some of the better ones here in the next month or so. I've got an appointment with the doctor I need to see finally. Anyway, but like whatever, I'm done everything I can do. Right, I got the HRT going on. I've got laser stuff for the face and the chest. I'm trying to do the voice, and there's a pandemic, so I don't know if that's good or bad, but it is what it is. And that's where my life is at. But I sure wish I could figure this out better. But don't we all wish we could figure this out better? And, you know, the thing is, it's a journey, not a destination. I know that we think, oh, when I get to this, then I'll be done. Right? When my hair is just right. When my eyebrows are just right. When I got that tattoo that says feels like a woman, across my chest. Or whatever. I don't plan on getting that particular tattoo, but you never know. I was quite fond of Shania Twain. Still am. She's still around. Anyway. I may never be finished, is what I'm saying. My voice may never be quite right. My look might never be quite right. I don't know what I'm going to do for a job soon in this coming world. I'm fortunate to be in Canada where the government is looking after us actually pretty good, but still, that's kind of a... I would much rather have a steady income from a job where I felt, or a business where I felt secure and that I knew what I was doing. And who knows what's going to come along next. But the big barrier for me right now is being in between and trying to present professional at a job application, which I do, but still, I haven't got one yet. And I know at least one of them was because he took a look at me and he saw a man in a pink shirt with breasts and said, "No, thank you." Right? And I would have been good at that job, but it still irritates me because I see them doing jobs around town. I'm like, I could have helped with that. And I could be getting $20 an hour right now, or whatever he's paying him, instead of getting this CERB thing. I'm glad I got the CERB, but I would happily go to work if somebody would give me a job. Anyway, back to my non-binary status and why it bothers me today. This is like 13 minutes long. No way anybody's watched this for 13 minutes. I'm non-binary, and it bugs me, and I'm trying to figure out why now I have dysphoria when before I didn't. And the reason I have dysphoria now is because suddenly I see myself not being able to have those visions that I would get of being her, of having the sexy body and dating the hot guy, and or whatever the fantasy was, or the possibility was that would cross my mind while being her. Those things are not big possibilities for me at the moment. And that crushes me. That just guts me. And that's the dysphoria that I feel. This is never going to work. I'm never going to have those things that I wanted in life. because I didn't even know I was allowed to go get them. You know? That's why I feel dysphoria today. Because I might never get it, and it's just, this is too long. I have to do this again.